Hello, welcome to another Tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration with your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and I'm bringing you a little painting today. By the way, you can see my color list flashing by the screen real quick. I had a question on a recent post, what the heck is Mike's green? Mike's green is a mix of yellow and black, so my own custom mix, and my name is Mike. I go by M. I don't actually. My professional name is M. Francis, but most people call me Mike that know me. Okay, so we got a little change up today. We're going to do a regular length for this channel, regular length, about 11-12 minute video showing a painting, and looks like we might be missing a little bit of the beginning of the drawing stage of this one, but that's okay. Stay tuned. It's a nice little painting, and I'm real happy with it. I did 3 of the 1-hour real-time videos, and I can see it's being well received by the hardcore fans of the channel. Now, people that are maybe not as into the time commitment and intensity of that approach, I think they're bailing right and left. But what I've decided to do is I'm going to let people catch up with those 3. I realize it takes a while to get through, and I'm going to put up this little video, and then I'm going to put up a Past Masters over the weekend, which is coming up, and then next week, probably Monday again, my Monday will be your Sunday, possibly. I'm going to roll out the next 3 over the week, and I think in the future, if I do this sort of thing, it might be just through the mailing list, because most people just don't have that kind of time. I don't think they do, and you're welcome to weigh in on the comments, but the numbers don't lie. I've actually been dropping subscribers right and left, and I can see, like, first video, 100 something people watch it. The next video it's half, and then the one after that's half again. So, and I don't blame you. I mean, I myself, it's a big time commitment, and the real time thing, I think it's there for the real studious types. And I will be finishing up the project. I will be putting up the rest of them, and they will be there for a while. So if you're into it, don't feel like you've got to watch them all right now, because they'll be there. So anyway, that bit of business out of the way. I've been in the studio today, actually. I'm at home for lunch, and then I've got an afternoon appointment for someone's going to do some work here around the house, and I've recently done like 4 little 5x10s, and it's an awesome size. I really love it, and I'm really stoked with these paintings, and I will be featuring them in the upcoming show that I have in June. I think it's June 20th or something like that. But got my framing done mostly for that show. Well, except for all the hanging wire and things, but I'll dedicate a day to that. I've just been kind of anxious to get into painting and do some painting, and I feel it's really important to keep a certain amount of momentum when it comes to the painting, because I don't know, you take too big a gap, and it seems like you gotta get started all over again. But what else is going on? So yeah, I have photographed, like I say, 10 of the next Past Masters. I think I'll count the long form real-time video as 1 and just start up from 2, although the numbering convention is probably just important to me. I don't think anyone else cares. But I do know people like watching them, especially I can see the Past Masters stuff is some of the more popular stuff in the channel as well, and that's all good. It's good, because some of these guys are forgotten, and if it weren't for my efforts in YouTube, they might be completely forgotten, but I'm trying to get them some attention, some positive attention for their works of genius. Especially, people like Charles Appel. You can't find out anything about this guy unless you go to one of these auction sites. And I hate to say it, but I've sold paintings for some of the prices that his work goes for. You know what I mean? So that's kind of not good. He deserves better. And it was very fashionable, this tonalism thing, for its time, and it was of its time. However, when it was no longer fashionable and something else came along, and frankly, it was one of the new things that came along and replaced the Hudson River guys in the Hudson River School, and some of those guys, they retired. If they couldn't change their style or whatever, they just couldn't sell any more work. It just wasn't happening anymore. But what can I say? To me, it represents a pinnacle of poetic expression of landscape painting. So that's valuable, irregardless of what time it was being done or the circumstances that caused it to arise as a movement, or the things that came along and displaced it. Really, it's kind of irrelevant to me because it's beautiful and moving, and that's what counts to me as an artist and as a person that likes looking at art. So I'm all the way behind it. And funny enough, I've been if you look at my life as an artist, I've always been somebody that's been very into acquiring technical ability and into taking things and improving them. Like when I was into comic books, I was a really good inker. I was a decent penciler as well, but I was a really good inker and an okay penciler. I was very good at taking the pencils of someone else and making them look really, really good. And so I didn't always have, to me it wasn't as important the actual subject or the actual thing I was doing as much as expressing myself and making something look as good or as cool as possible. And it's probably in many ways what I still do with landscape painting. I mean, I didn't invent this scene that we're looking at today. It's a real scene in the real world. It didn't look like this. It was, a regular daytime type of photo. I injected all the color and imagination and mood into this scene based on my impressions and what I thought would look really cool. But I didn't create the scene, and I'm not really that into that. I will do quite a lot of modification with my photo reference. Like, I might put a road in, I might put a river in. One thing I won't do, though, is just plop in trees. I've tried, and it never comes off. It doesn't look right. I have moved trees maybe that were off to the side, and moved them a little further off to the side, or things like that. But to me, the placement of the trees in the scene and the amount of sky has got to be there in the reference, and everything else is up for grabs. Colors, even shadows, areas of relative shadow or light, I will change and modify. I'll change and modify almost everything, except I won't just create scenes from nothing. And I remember back when I first started kind of dabbling with landscape painting, and I was trying to do paintings in the computer, actually, and inventing scenes, and wow, it's just some really, really bad stuff. I mean, and the funny thing was I was a professional illustrator, so on one hand they had a sort of technical virtuosity. On the other hand, it was technical virtuosity applied to something that had no substance. And so I like to find something that's got a bit of substance and then really run with it, make it something special, and that's what I'm into. Anyway, just important that I've been thinking about that a bit lately, and Yeah, kind of looking forward to this upcoming show. It's always good to get your work out and share with people. I wish I was better at promotion and marketing and stuff. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I know these things need to be done. And to me, it's sort of abstract, and I just don't have much talent or ability at it myself. And it'd be great if at some point in my life, I could hook up with somebody that did have that strength and could help me in that area. And if you're one of those people, hey, come on over here, help me out. Meanwhile, I'll just keep plugging along, making paintings for as long as I can and sharing my work. And those of you that commented and liked the first three videos, thank you so much. And it's something that I probably will do again, I have to say, but I think what I'll do is just pop it out on the mailing list instead of, because right now it's like a big weird bump on my channel, and that's not necessarily a good thing. There's a lot of people that, you know, they want to watch the painting process and they want to get insights and stuff, but they don't want to spend 5 or 6 hours watching paint dry, and that's understandable. Anyway, I can see we're getting close to the end. New subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and old subscribers, thank you so much for sticking around. And those of you that have left comments and positive statements on my channel, thank you a lot. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the support. Anyway, I'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, please take good care and stay out of trouble.